What's up, strongest men, women, and children from blocks all around the world? I am my block's strongest man, and tonight we're going to discuss Savage Strength Challenge 4, an Iron Warrior Women's Pro-Am, hosted by the legendary lightweight Christina Bangma, and coming to you this weekend on May 22nd from Instrong, Indiana Strong, in Indiana.
Ciao, homie.
So let's talk about the competitors and the events in the different weight classes and discuss what we think about predictions for this upcoming awesome Strongman Corp sanctioned event coming up again this weekend, May 22nd in Indiana. So let's go have a look at who will be competing this coming weekend and what those events are. So if we have a look at the magic spreadsheet, you'll see that I've listed out the events and the competitors by weight class. So, what are the events? Well, there's an overhead press medley, which is an axle to be followed by a 10-inch log, and then to be followed by a 12-inch log. So, competitors will have to master two different sized logs in this overhead medley. We then move on to a car deadlift for reps, and Christina describes these weights as heavy, heavier, heaviest, even heavier, things like that. So they're cars. You can't really tell exactly what they weigh until the day of. So that's why I have all the question marks here, but they'll be weighted accordingly to the different weight classes to make it just as challenging as they need to be. Max keg over bar. So they start off at a minimum weight for that weight class, and then the competitor who can get the highest weight over the bar will win that particular event. For the open women's class, it's Atlas stones instead of kegs. And then we move on to a keg press overhead for reps, with these different weights for each weight class. And then we end off with a farmer's walk, 150 total feet, so 50-foot lengths, 2 turns for a total of 150 feet. So those are our events for this contest. Moving on to the open women's lightweight class at Savage Strength Challenge 4 an Iron Warrior Pro-Am. We have Emily Elliott, Carly Oliveira, Kristen Rain, and Leah Castonia, who competed also at the Mammoth Strength Challenge, coincidentally enough. So, starting off with the overhead medley, I couldn't find any data on anybody except Carly Oliveira, who did 200 pounds for a single clean. And her particular weight class, the open women's lightweight, requires 135 minimum. So for the open classes, it's max axle instead of a particular weight for reps. And so their minimum starting weight is 135, and she's doing way over that. Yes, it was just a clean, but she's also nursing, I think it was a bicep injury. And it's amazing she's kind of pushing through like it's not even there and hoping for a world record in this particular event. The axle, I think she said 203 is the world record at her weight class. So she's pushing for that, even fighting through this injury that she's dealing with. So that's going to be awesome to watch. So I say she takes the overhead medley just for lack of other evidence from any of the other ladies, and because Carly's overhead press looks really, really impressive. The weight she's pushing at her weight class is incredible. So moving on to the car deadlift, Carly had what looked like about, I was counting the plates, it looked like about 400 pounds in hand and did 8 reps with that. So, of course, that doesn't count all the weight behind her with the frame and whatnot, but about 400 pounds in hand. Kristen Rain had about 375 pounds in hand and did 5 reps. So a little bit less weight, it looked like, and a little fewer reps. Very close, but I think that's the difference between 1 and 2 in that particular event. Moving on to max keg. In this case, it would be max Atlas stone over bar in the open classes. And so Carly did 5 stones that a run that started off at looked like 156 pounds, or that's what was painted on the stone, and ranged up to a 260-pound stone, which was the weight of both the 4th and the 5th stone in that run. 215 for Kristen Rain, still really impressive, but Carly edges her out there. And their stones will begin at 175 pounds, as you see here above, right here. And so I think she's got that very well covered. and wins this particular event as well. Moving on to the keg press for reps, I saw Carly Oliveira do 8 reps with a particular keg, but I don't know what the weight on it was. It was actually an interesting video where somebody else in her gym was kind of trying to keep her from running into the equipment behind her, and she thought he was grabbing something and getting in her way. It was pretty funny if you want to go catch it. So I think she takes that as well. Moving on to farmer's walk, we saw Kristen Rain do a farmer's at 145 pounds, which is going to be what is required at the contest for this weight class. It was a medium pace, not super fast, not super slow. But again, Carly Oliveira did 180 run out and 140 back, so a heavier farmer's and good pacing there. So I think she takes this one as well. Taking that all into consideration, this is Carly Oliveira's class to win the Open Women's Lightweight, with Kristen Rain coming in second. And then I think it's a toss-up with Emily Elliott or Leah Castonia between third and fourth.
So if you like this video and haven't done so yet, please consider subscribing using that button right there. And also stay tuned for some other videos that you might love blooping up right there. This one is the one that YouTube thinks that you will like the best, and this one is the one that I think you will like the best. As always, share this with everyone, and until next time, ciao, homie.